Hi VC, this is Bev here, and it's actually 2019 now, obviously, I'm sure we all know that, but I thought I would do this is my year-end 2018 roundup thing, and the whole what albums I got in 2018, and if I have a favourite and all that stuff, so I thought I would do this video as well. Not really sure how I'm going to word it all, but we'll just, nothing's rehearsed. Nothing ever is rehearsed, actually, with me. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed the festive season and are looking forward to another year of good music. First up, I know Pretty Maids are going to be reissuing on vinyl and CD as well, I think. Some of their albums from the 90s, because with the 90s and vinyl going out, I think the original pressings of some of their 90s albums is apparently hard to get hold of. So I think they decided to get some reissues in the works, so look out for that, people, because I will be. So, for me, 2018 has been a really good year musically, to be honest with you, and it's the first time I can say that and actually I believe that in years and decades, to be honest with you, because music pretty much died a death for me for a period of time in the early 90s and didn't really enter the frame until 2006. And then, even then, it sort of started trickling back into my life, and it came through, but it was coming through my iPod and downloaded stuff off iTunes, etc. And until more recent times, when I thought, I decided I missed my hi-fi basically and listening to music properly, which as we old school people deem properly as a music system with a physical record or a CD or a cassette and proper speakers that sit on a piece of furniture, and you sit back in the chair or dance about the room with your hairbrush or your tennis racket, whatever you so desire to pretend to be, well, back in the day anyway. But so yeah, so I made some investments, got my kit together, record player and all that stuff, and I found some people in the VC early in 2018. I had been lurking for a month or two before I decided to post my first video, which was in May. I double checked that. It was about the 26th of May, I think, I posted my first vinyl community video with an introduction about me briefly and a thread response to Dude 1973. It was one of his topics that he came up with back at the time. So for me, I've been with the VC about half a year, I guess, and obviously since then, the influence of the VC and my own kind of musical desires burning inside, I got out what I had of my old vinyl collection left, which wasn't a lot, and I got out my CDs, which wasn't a huge amount either, although it was more than the vinyl, because I had shipped away. I'd got rid of some of my CDs that I thought I didn't particularly care to keep, and just kept some of what I termed as my favourite stuff. But since May, I've been feeding off of you guys and your excellent videos and taking inspiration and tips and just going out to shops that I've never really been to before. I started searching out some of the charity shops as well, and just there's music shops, record shops dotted around the town. Started checking out if some of them were still there, and and plus you've got your mainstream shops like HMV, although they could be disappearing shortly again by the looks of things, sadly. however. And since May, my record and CD collections have grown. I've even acquired a cassette collection because I had one cassette, which wasn't really mine, it was my mum and dad's, but from back in the day since 1982, and I've now, I must have about a dozen to 15 cassettes, which is amazing even, you know. So, now as far as music, new music from 2018 goes, I haven't got loads. I have a few. I think I've got I've got about 8, I think, records or CDs. Well, 8 albums, we'll say, that were recorded and released as new music by the bands in 2018. I've also, in 2018, I've picked up about 3 box sets of, well, in fact, you could, we'll go with 3 box sets that were released in 2018. One's Running Wild, they're pieces of 8. There's also the Def Leppard box set of their first and only 4 albums. And what was the other one? The Halloween one, which I got for Christmas, just the Noise Years. These are all released this year, but they're reissues of older music. They're not, you know, it's not new music, but so I'm not really including them as the 2018 stuff. But I'm going to just get on with it now. Show you what I have. I'll start with the CDs, just a couple here. So these are all 2018 releases, and I really enjoy them all. I don't particularly have a favourite, or I haven't, well, I do have a favourite, actually. But overall, I haven't really got them in an order of favourites or rankings or whatever, because I like them all. And 2 of them I just got in just at the back end of Christmas there, to be honest. Which, so I'll be showing them for the first time in this video. But I'm going to get started and show, let me just slip that out. The first one I'm going to show is from 2018 that I really quite enjoy. Is it's Magnum's and Lost on the Road to Eternity. Sorry about the glare there. And I doubt you'll be able to read the track listing on the back, but there is 13 tracks in total on here. Now this is the Japanese issue. I spotted it on eBay for the same price as the average UK CD, so I decided to go for this, and that's your OBI strip that comes with it. So there's 2 bonus CDs for Japan on it. Lost on the Road to Eternity. Now, just briefly, I wanted to double check the producers, because I know this year people have mentioned a few times about this Andy Sneap producer, and a lot of music sounding kind of, in general, similar production sound. Let me just check if I can spot something. That's the thank yous at the back there. I wonder if it's at the front. Yeah, all songs written by Tony Clarkin, produced by Tony Clarkin. I didn't think this had Andy Sneap on it right enough, but I just wanted to double check that. So this was produced by Tony Clarkin, who, as you know, is one of Magnum's mainstays, and the artwork actually is pretty smart, I have to say. It was one of the things that made me go towards it. So it's a good album by Magnum. It sounds like Magnum. You know, obviously he's got there's, you know, Bob Catley, he's got a voice, a certain voice that you kind of recognise as his. I wouldn't say there was anything that really wowed me, but it's just it's a good hard rock album to listen to, so I would recommend that. Obviously, if you're a Magnum fan, then you're going to look at it anyway, I would imagine. But yeah, it's hard rock, progressive rock, excellent stuff. So that was the first one. Another one, this is the one I just got after Christmas. And I have listened to it. I've been wanting to get this for ages, and I've been listening to a couple of the tracks online, and I knew I'd be getting it at some point, but I finally pulled the trigger. I thought, well, I'll include it in my video anyway, but I really enjoyed this too. And this is Corleone, and it's the Greatest Hits Part 1. Now it's Leo Leone is the guitarist, one of the founding guitarists from the band Gotthard, the Swiss rock band. He's been with Gotthard from the beginning, and he did this, I think, is it the 20... Yeah, I think it's something like the 25th anniversary of the formation of the band, which would be 2017. He got this idea to do this. He got a band together, himself, the current drummer from Gotthard, and 3 other guys he got together. And what it is, it's a kind of collection of some of Gotthard's earlier songs that the bands tend to not really play very much anymore in today's concerts. And there are songs that were obviously written back in the day with the original singer Steve Lee as well, who's sadly no longer here. And I think Leo Leone wanted to do this and re-record the songs as a kind of a tribute to the early Gotthard years and to Steve Lee's time with the band, I think, as well. So you've got some really cool stuff on here, and the tracks are really good. That's Leo Leone there. It's kind of a cool artwork style image, and the whole booklets like that. And the guys in the band, actually, I did a bit of checking. What it says, I've got the hype sticker that I kept. I've stuck it to this bit of paper, but the hype sticker says 11 Gotthard hard rock classics, re-recorded by Leo Leone's new band, featuring Ronnie Romero, who is the singer in Lords of Black, on vocals. And there's one new song that they did, so everything else is old stuff, but there's one called Walk on Water, which is new. So you have Ronnie Romero, who is the vocalist, and he's a Chilean chap. He was born in Santiago, Chile, and he's the singer in Lords of Black. He's also been in Richie Blackmore's new Rainbow project. The other guitarist is a guy called, is it Igor Gianola? Forgive me if I get that wrong. He's a Swiss guitar player who used to be with Gotthard in the early days. He was with Gotthard from 1993 to 95, so he was there a couple of years. But later on, he went on to join U.D.O. With U.D.O. Dirk Snyder. He joined U.D.O. in 1998, and he was with them through to 2013. So, you know, he's solid metal background as well. And the drummer is the current Gotthard drummer, Henna, I forget what his name is, the devil's his name. The great drummer, Henna Habiger. And the bass player is a chap called Mila Merker. Forgive me if I get that name wrong as well, but he's Swiss, and he's been in bands which I'm not familiar with. He's been in a band called Soul Line, or his current band might be Soul Line, which are described as melodic death or something. He was in a band called Imperial, who were grungy apparently, and another band called Naive, which are apparently stoner rock styled. But yeah, so if you're into, just solid hard rock with crunching guitars, that's the CD itself actually. Crunching guitars, good riffs, great singing, vocals, etc. Then I would recommend you get Corleone. That was released this year as well. It's fantastic. From this year also, I got Michael Schenkerfest's and his Resurrection. Just recently I got this as well. This was part of my Christmas vouchers money, I think, because this is just a recent acquisition, and it's a fantastic album, new material. Michael and 4 of the singers he used to work with before. So actually I'm just going to put that there just now. So that was one. Another album which I got late actually. I got this, this was the last of my Christmas money that I spent, and I haven't shown this either, but I'd heard a lot of reviews about it on the VC, and I thought, right, I'm going to check that out. Had a listen to a couple on YouTube, liked what I heard, and it's U.D.O's Steel Factory, so I know a lot of you have got this already, so I decided to pick it up, and it's a double album. You can actually get 15 tracks on here. Apparently track 8, The Devil is an Angel, is a limited bonus, it says here. But yeah, I really enjoy this album myself. Again, obviously, U.D.O is Udo Dirkschneider's band after he left Accept, and he now has his son playing drums in the band. Lovely gatefold, it's got a nice picture of the band there. And it also comes with a nice lyric sheet, which is all that, and you've got your thank yous and credits on that side. And this edition is actually, it is the limited edition on what they call clear violet, I think is the colour of the vinyl. So it's kind of very cool actually, nice colouring. So yeah, I was chuffed to get that, pleased I got it, and I'm really enjoying that. So another 2018 release. Now I've got 3 more to show, and these are kind of like my top 3 of the year. I just absolutely love each of these albums that I'm going to show. This one by Ghost, this really surprised me. This is Prequel by Ghost, and it's actually the only album I've heard properly from these guys, but they were a band I thought I would not be into, to be honest with you, but I went and listened to some of this on YouTube, and I was pleasantly surprised at how much I was really enjoying it. A lot of the fans were kind of turned off by this, thinking it was too poppy sounding for some reason, but I don't know, I just think it's great. There's lots of melody, there's lots of interesting bits to the music in here, and it's different from your other standard hard rock and metal, whatever. Basically, I just think it's fantastic. It's really refreshing, is how I would describe this. I'm not into, I don't know if a lot of their lyrics are quite dark and satanic, I guess, if you like, flavoured perhaps, but I'm not into that nonsense myself. But the actual music and the songs, I just love them. I think it's a really interesting album. It's a very different and, as I say, refreshing album. So I would rate this in my favourites out of what I've got in 2018, definitely. No surprise at all that this is I don't have a second and a first. This is joint first. There was two albums that I couldn't decide which one to put as my number one, because they're both great. I love them both. I can't pick a favourite out of the two. I just love them both. So joint number one, I guess, which makes that second or whatever. I guess it's still third. But yeah, Firepower, Judas Priest. I don't think there's much needed to be said. You know, just pretty much everybody I know from the metal and rock community has this. If you don't have it yet, get on with it. And because I like it so much as well, I picked up just after Christmas along with Corleone. I went for the CD as well, so I've got it on both just so that I can give my vinyl a rest now and again. And it's just the standard CD. I didn't go for the kind of deluxe version. But yeah, so fantastic stuff from the mighty gods of metal. And the other one, which is kind of my joint favourite album of the year, is Bonfire's Temple of Lies. This is amazing. I've been listening to this over and over quite a lot as well. It's just such a feel-good album, and the songs are solid. I know it's a different singer Bonfire have now to the original, but this guy, his vocals are amazing. He's like an opera singer almost. Parts, you know, he's got such a range. I mean, Halford's got such a range as well, but this guy's probably up there with him just about. But yeah, it's a fantastic album. I've only actually seen Frankie over at Frankie's Music Collection show this, so I know he has it as well and he likes it. But I've not really seen it too anywhere else that I can recall. But I do recommend you get Bonfire because they're a great German hard rock act. Lots of riffs and melodies, harmonies, and just chunky sounding guitars. Just great lead parts. You know, the whole shooting works. So that is my favourites for 2018 is this and Priest, followed up very closely by Ghost, and all the others, as I say, I like as well. So, and incidentally, I was looking at who produced them all. This is produced by Tom Dalgety. No Andy Sneap in sight. U.D.O, they are produced by... Does it even say? I was trying to look. However, I don't think... Production manager, no. I don't actually think that this was produced by Andy Sneap, because I don't see his name anywhere. I can't find... Oh, there we are. Yeah, produced and remixed by Jacob Hansen. So, and Bonfire is definitely not produced by Andy Sneap either. This is produced by Hans Ziller, who's the guitarist in the band. So, I noticed Mr. Sneap appears on Firepower. But not on any of the other ones that I've got here. Certainly Corleone is not. That was produced by Leo Leone himself. Magnum is produced by Magnum, Tony Clark, and Mr. Schenker. I don't think it's a Sneap either on here. Hang on. Produced by Michael Schenker and Michael Vos Schoen. So yeah, that's good. So there's not too much Andy Sneap in here, right enough. But I've been listening to what people are saying about the sort of similar production sound coming from his stuff. I kind of get what you mean. Obviously, there's many other albums out there that, like others, I didn't get around to buying yet. Obviously, you can't buy everything at once, unless you win the lottery, I suppose. But other ones that I am interested in is the Saxon album, the Uriah Heep album. I'm curious about these ones. There's Dee Snider's, I'm interested in that as well. I'm considering Metal Church because a few people have advised me on that it may be something I quite like. There's loads. I can't really think of them all, but you all know there's loads anyway. So that's pretty much my take on 2018. It's been a fabulous year for music, probably the best since the 80s for me, to be honest, as far as collecting music and listening to music in general. I've discovered new bands and old bands that are new to me, and it's all down to you guys. So thanks everybody for watching my channel, for supporting, advising, sharing thoughts, etc. It is good to know you all, and I appreciate just having other people that I can relate to regarding music and genres of music. So I'm going to end this now because I'm babbling, and I'm going to do another one soon, which will be I'm going to do that vinyl tag 2019 thing, have a shot at that. So you'll get more blabbering from me in that one. And I shall speak to you soon. And again, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Bye the now.